Welcome boaters, Keith McGowan here. I am the Outboard Dad, here to help you have a better boating experience. We're going to get into putting these carbs back on the motor for the second time, and that's what I wanted to talk about today. Sometimes you have to redo something when you find, hey, something didn't go right, what happened? I don't care how long you've been a mechanic, I don't care how many carburetors or engines you've taken apart, you have to be methodical and go through your tests step by step. You don't want to find out when you get it all together and then you have to take it all apart again. You want to do your tests as you go through. So if you remember, we did a pressure test on this. It looked good. I shut the camera off, told you all it was good, and then looked back. Hey, what's that drip there? I squeezed the squeeze ball again. Oh, look at that. Where is that leaking from? And I had to pull them off again, and you saw in the last videos what we found with our bowls being warped. And we were able to sand them off. Now we're going to see if that worked, because we're going to put these back on there. But we have to keep in mind, you can't let that frustrate you to the point. Especially if you're starting, let me know, are you starting to work on your own motor and you haven't before? Or are you a mechanic, maybe auto mechanic, or Sean was here, was a diesel mechanic. Maybe you're handy and it just gets frustrating because you're looking to get out on the water. You want to do these things early, long before. Don't do it the day before you're going to take the boat out. Try and do it the week before, or block out a weekend so you know you have the time to focus and do the things that you want to do and do them the right way. So it's something that a lot of people deal with that gets difficult. You watch a lot of these TV shows, or you'll see mechanics maybe on YouTube videos. They'll start whipping their tools across the room or getting all upset because something didn't go right. Well, that's what happens when you work on stuff. You're going to make mistakes, and there's going to be things that you didn't plan. There's no book. Listen, you see, I look through manuals. I read them all the time. I have my own book, my used outboard motor buying guide. Nothing is perfect that's going to tell you everything you need to know for every situation that you do. What I can promise you is that if you are diligent in working on your own boat or motor, whether you're a mechanic or not, and you take the time, you will end up benefiting from the rewards of a better boating experience. You are going to have failures. It's okay. But the more you fail, the more you learn. Every time I take something apart and it doesn't go right, yeah, when I was younger, I used to get a little more upset. I can't say I didn't. Now, here I am, preaching don't get upset. But yeah, I used to get upset. And there's times I still want to get something done and I'm frustrated. And I just have to step back and go, all right, let's take this apart again and see what I missed. I used to say, oh, I don't like those motors, whatever brand it was. Those are garbage, this is garbage. Really, they're all pretty much similar in their manufacturing. Yeah, some models they had issues with than other models, but if they're maintained properly, you're going to have less problems. So let's go ahead and mount these carburetors. Before we do, don't forget my used outboard motor buying guides for sale on Amazon for $20. If you send me an email at keith@outboarddad.com with proof of purchase, I am offering a free half-hour session over the phone. I got 3 or 4 calls to make tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be heading south to pick up another motor deal that I found on Facebook Marketplace. Talked to Les yesterday and texted him this morning. Told him I would text him when I get on the road. I love having another adventure to buy another blown motor that I can pick up, and then we'll pull it apart. We'll evaluate it here. So if you have that style motor, it's a Mercury, I think it's a 200 horse, 150 or 200 horse EFI. I believe it's a 2006, something like that. Maybe it's a 2002. And we're going to go ahead. He said it hasn't had a knocking noise, but it has a new lower unit. And I'm going to assume it's an SEI lower unit, which I'm not as happy about. I kind of like the OEM if you've watched any of my videos. But we're going to check that out as well. So we'll go on a little adventure tomorrow morning to see what that motor looks like. Meet another nice guy I talked to on the phone, Les, and get it off his hands, bring it home, and we'll check it out. In the meantime, let's get these carburetors on. Not going to bore you with a whole video. I'm going to get them mounted, and then we'll pump it up with some fuel and make sure we got no leaks. If we do have leaks, then you have to watch that I don't get upset that I have to take them apart again. But I hope I don't. But let's give it a shot and see what happens. Well, here we are. It's time to test. We have to find out. Are you nervous? We have to find out if this is going to leak or not. We don't know until we hook up everything, right? I got my fuel lines hooked up. I got my tie straps on all my fuel lines. Yeah, spent maybe 15, 20 minutes getting it back together again. Now I've got to pump that squeeze ball and see if it leaks. So this is the moment of truth, right? So here we go. Let's pump it up. I'm going to hold my flashlight here, and let's see as I squeeze my squeeze ball behind me. Bulb is hard. I'm squeezing the bulb pretty hard. And no drips, no runs, no errors. That's not how it went. It's no runs, no drips, no errors. So I'm squeezing that squeeze ball. It's not overflowing. I don't have any drips from the bowls. I don't have any drips from any fuel lines. There's a bunch of fuel lines on here. Now I could open up my primer and it should squirt a little bit. And it does. So I know my primer works and is sealed off and not leaking as well. So now we can hook up our purple wire to our primer, and we can get this cover back on here, and we can get this motor ready to run. So next steps we're going to do is get that lower unit on here. I'm probably going to clean a little more since I dumped some more fuel in here when I was doing my last test. I probably lost another couple ounces of fuel, probably cost me a couple bucks. But that's what you do. You go through, you have your tests, you make sure everything is working right. It's not perfect all the time, but if you look at things closely, you can find out where they're leaking from based on the tests that you perform. So we're going to go ahead and get this lower unit on in our next episode, and we'll bring this outside. It's pouring rain pretty good right now, so we're going to bring this outside. Maybe not later tonight, maybe tomorrow we'll do it, and we'll get the lower unit on, and we'll hook up our battery cable, pump some fuel in this puppy, and we'll fire it up and put it up for sale. Are you looking for a 90 horsepower Johnson motor? I believe it's a 1995. The model number is gone off of it. There is a number on the motor tag. There's a little freeze out plug, but I'm believing this is like a, it's an early 90s. It's between 92 and 95 motor. It's pretty clean, as you can see. It's in really good condition other than my midget marks here from working on it. We'll clean it up. Even the cover doesn't look that bad. So we're going to put this up for sale. So if you know anybody who wants a 20-inch, 90 horsepower motor, we did the compression check in previous videos. It's good. You can come and do a compression check with me if you want. Bring your own compression tester, gauge if you choose to, and we'll hopefully get this on somebody's boat. It's got a new water pump. Oh, we didn't finish the thermostats. I guess we're not going to fire it up too soon. So that'll probably be the next episode. We'll finish up installing those thermostats, and then we'll go ahead and get the lower unit on and get this ready for someone's boat so they can go out and have a better boating experience themselves. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. Send me comments about what you think about when you're working on it. Do you have fears that I don't want to do that? What if I break something? Yes, you will break things. The reason I started working on my own boat when I was 18 years old is I paid someone else to fix the lower unit, to reseal it. They screwed it up, and I ended up spending, a couple $100. I think it was like $300-400 with them. Then I had to get a new, used, rebuilt, supposedly lower unit for $750. So I'm over $1,000 to get back on the water. And I said to myself, even if I take things apart and break things, it's still cheaper fixing it myself. Let's say I fix it myself and I go out on the water and it breaks. Yeah, that's a possibility. But if you watch, there's so much information online right now. You can read in the books. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get stuck, although you might bring it back and it's got water in it again. Now you got to figure out why that's happening. And at this channel, Outboard Dad is here to help you. We want to make sure you can keep your motors running as long as you can. Sometimes it's better off buying one that's already good if you're not that mechanical, you don't want to get into it, or having another one so you have spare parts. Now if I take a good one apart, I can compare to mine. I'll bet you I can see what the difference is between the two. So it's always worth it to be diligent, pay attention to what you're doing, ask questions, and keep learning. This is the Outboard Dad, hoping you have a better boating experience. We'll see you on the next video. Take care.